Hello guys, I hope that everyone is enjoying the weekend. So the last few days I've been deep in my thoughts, really deep in my thoughts, right? Now something happened to me a few years ago. This happened back in 2023, and it was a game changer. You know how sometimes something traumatic, something really bad needs to happen to you in order for you to change for the better, right? Well, a few things happened actually in 2023. But firstly, I had a friend, well, a so-called quote-unquote friend, reach out to me back in 2023, and I haven't heard from her in like 10 years, right? Now, 11 years ago, me and her were really good friends, like almost like besties, right? And I thought she was somebody who would be in my life forever until she met her husband, well, now ex-husband, right? And the minute she met this guy back, 10 years ago, you know, they fell in love, they got married, and I was now obsolete to her. I no longer served the purpose. Completely ghosted me, stopped talking to me, stopped being my friend. I was like, whoa. I was taken back, right? Because like I said, I thought she would be in my life forever, right? So next thing you know, fast forward several years later, back in 2023, she hits me up out of nowhere, right? And, you know, once I started to talk to her, I realized that she only reached out to me after all those years because her and her husband separated. Well, you know, they're done. The marriage is done now, right? And I was pretty much a rebound friend to her. She only reached out to me when it's convenient for her, right? And I realized that, I said to myself, oh shit. I was like, damn, I invested more into the friendship emotionally more than she did. I was emotionally invested in her, right? But she only saw me as someone who was, oh, I'll speak to him if there's somebody else around, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to Jerron. You know, but if I find better, then the hell with him, right? I had to learn that the hard way. And I said to myself, I will never, ever allow anyone else to feel like they could just drop me and pick me up whenever they feel like that. The hell with that, right? So with that being said, right, I had a really good conversation with one of my good friends a few days ago, right? And he said to me, he's an ex-witness. He said to me, he said, Jerron, he said, hypothetically speaking, if your mother and your brother reached out to you and they said, Jerron, you were so right. The organization has collapsed. The governing body leaders, it was a scam. They just wanted to profit. They liquidated all their assets, their currency. They took the money, they ran. We were conned. Jerron, you was right the whole time. We're sorry. He said, Jerron, if that were to hypothetically happen, what would you do? Would you easily forgive your family? Would you allow them back in your life? Would you let bygones be bygones? Like, what would you do, right? And I really have been thinking about that the last few days, right? And it made me think about that former friend that I just spoke to you guys about, how she just saw me as a rebound, right? When things didn't work out with her marriage, then she reached out to me after, nearly a decade of not speaking, right? So I said to myself, I said, if my mother and my two brothers reached out to me on some rebound shit, only because the governing body leaders, now they're finally being exposed as the frauds that they are, as the con artists that they are, right? Should I easily just allow my family back in my life? Is that fair to me? When they put me through so much grief, so much pain, so much misery the last 2 years, nearly 2 years, right? Should I let bygones be bygones and just easily allow my family back in my life? After they just cut me off, shunned me, blocked me like it was nothing. Like it was nothing, right? And when they did that, when my mom and my two brothers did that, right? Just because I encouraged them to do their research like I did, because we know that when you do your research on this religion, you are bound to wake up. It's just a matter of time. You're going to wake up. If you look outside the realms of jw.org, you start Googling stuff, you start to go on YouTube, you start to go on jwfacts.com, it's a wrap. You're gonna wake up from this cult eventually, right? So just because I encouraged my family to do their research nearly 2 years ago, they automatically call me an apostate, shun me, block me. I'm dead to them. It's done. I'm done, right? So I said to myself, if they were to find out that their so-called leaders are cons, are frauds, and they reached out to me, oh, Jerron, we're so sorry, we should have listened to you. Should I easily just snap my fingers and allow them back in my life? After what they just did to me in the last, 2 years of shunning? And the last 2 years, you best believe I have been working on my mental health. I have to. Because anyone in a situation could easily lose their minds. You could go ballistic. There's a reason why people have taken their lives, once they're being shunned from their family, because it's inhumane, as we know. It is truly inhumane. It is unloving, it's unjust, the whole nine, right? It is a living nightmare being shunned by your family while they're still alive. But yet, you're dead to them. There's no words that can truly describe that pain, right? There's no words. So you best believe the last few years I have been working on my mental health. I had to make myself strong. I had to learn to love myself more than anything. I had to. And if there's anything positive that comes from me being shunned by my family, it's the fact that I discovered that, Jerron, you know what? I'm worthy of being loved. And if my family can't provide that love, that unconditional love, then I have to provide it to myself. I have to give it to myself first and foremost before anybody else can give it to me, right? Now, thank God, right? Thank God I have an abundance of friends in the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, and I already had an abundance of friends, while I was inactive all these years, right? So thank God I have people that truly do love me. But in regards to my family, I'm being honest, I really don't know. From the bottom of my heart, as much as I say I want to forgive them, if my mom were to call me right now, Jerron, I love you. You was right. I'm so sorry. As much as I would want to forgive her instantly, that might take a while. It might take a while. And I don't know if our relationship could ever be repaired. I don't know if it could ever be like it was before, because my mom and my two brothers dropped me for a man-made organization that they cannot even prove is true. That's the worst part about all this. I can prove to them that what they believe in is not the truth. They can't do the opposite. They can't show me facts. Because every Jehovah's Witness, the only thing that they have of some type of substance is faith. They have faith that what they believe is true. But no Jehovah's Witness has hardcore facts, which is mind-boggling when you think about it, right? If you're gonna shun somebody, especially your blood, especially your own kin, if you're gonna cast them aside like they're dead, you would think that Jehovah's Witnesses would at least have proof that they have the truth, right? We know that this is the truth because X, Y, and Z, and that's why we're shunning you. But that is not the case. Jehovah's Witnesses are shunning their families because the governing body leaders, men that are not even inspired by God, men that are not even inspired by God, are instructing Jehovah's Witnesses to shun their family. And their family are doing it. The family are listening to men in upstate New York over their own blood. And I say to myself, the last few years, keep in mind, tomorrow is not promised to nobody. So imagine if I die tomorrow and my mom and my two brothers, they woke up the day after tomorrow. They can't apologize to me. It's done. I'm dead. So with that mindset, I said to myself, can I truly forgive my family if they were to woke up, right? And is it fair to me that they're reaching out to me only because I'm a rebound? Because initially they put the governing body leaders over me when I simply encouraged them to wake up, to do their research. Sorry, I simply encouraged them to do their research, and eventually, like I said before, they would have woken up, right? Now, some people would say, Jerron, your mom, your brother, they still love you. They're indoctrinated, but they still love you. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because that's not what love is. Love is, this is what love is, right? And I say this because I'm putting myself in my family's shoes. If the shoe was on the other foot, right? If I was in this situation and one of my family members did their research, woke up from this cult, whether it's my mom or one of my brothers, right? If they came to me and said, Jerron, listen, I know you may not be mentally prepared to hear this. I know we was trained to think otherwise, but I've done my research and this organization is not what you think it is. If you don't believe me, Jerron, do your research outside of jw.org. And if you don't like what you see, you can always be a witness again, right? If my family came to me like that, I would listen to my family. It doesn't matter how indoctrinated, how much I believe that this was the truth. If my family, my mom, one of my brothers came to me and encouraged me to do the research, and they said to Jerron, I don't think that this is the truth, please do your research. If the shoe was on the other foot, I would listen to them. I would be open-minded. I have always been an open-minded person, even when I was a Jehovah's Witness. Even when I was a Jehovah's Witness. So for me to be shunned by my family when I simply encourage them to do the research, I say to myself, even if they wake up in the future, I shouldn't have been shunned in the first place. I know they're indoctrinated, I get it. They're indoctrinated, they're drinking the Kool-Aid, I get it. But at the end of the day, family is supposed to be number one. Family should come before any type of religion. And it should be common sense. It should be common sense that a loving God, excuse me, my voice getting hoarse over here. A loving God would not want families divided. A loving God would not want a mother to shun her child, for brothers to shun their siblings. That should be common sense. And you know what? I made peace. Accepting the possibility that my family, they might not never ever reach out to me ever again. I made peace with that. And like I said, I learned to love myself. With my family, my mom, a mother should love her child unconditionally. I no longer had that support. And you know what? It's okay. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna hurt. You know, it may hurt me forever. I may not never ever truly get over it, right? But life goes on. And in the last 2 years, like I said, I have been working on myself, my mental health. I've been learning to love myself, learning to not let people get to me, even family, you know? And it's sad that strangers have now become my family, and my family have now become strangers. It's weird how life works, right? It really is weird. But I made peace with that. And I pray that anyone that's waking up, anyone that has done their research, and you're now being shunned by your family and former friends, simply because you encourage them to do their research, guess what? If people want to be blinded by the light, if they want to stay lost in the sauce, that's on them. Me, personally, I have no regrets. I will never, ever regret doing my research and waking up. Because like I always say, you cannot put a price on freedom. I would rather, at the end of the day, I would rather be shunned by my family and have my freedom and live being authentic, live being true to myself. I would rather have that. I would rather die being a free man than have my family and die being a slave of the Watchtower and Tract Society. The last time I spoke to my father, my grandfather, last time I spoke to my grandfather, I said to him, I said, grandfather, I'm so grateful that when me and you die, we're gonna die being real and authentic, and you cannot put a price on that shit. You can't put a price on that shit. And he agreed. He said, yep. He said, it's sad that, you know, your siblings and your mom, it's a possibility that they may die believing in a lie. They may die believing, you know, in this man-made organization. You know, we pray and hope that they wake up. But if they don't, then it is what it is. I did my part. I encouraged them. They refuse to listen. They want to stay blind. They want to be blinded by this organization. So be it. So be it. I can't wake anybody up. All I could do is encourage you to do your research. If you want to listen to 9-10 minute upstate New York that's not even inspired by God, then that's on you. You just have to reap what you sow in the long run. That's on you. But for me, even though I am completely shunned by my family, like I said, you can't put a price on your freedom. You can't put a price on your freedom. And I made peace, guys. I made peace knowing that I never speak to my family ever again. You know, but like I said, I met people in the extra Jehovah's Witness community, and I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. All the comments, all the friend requests on Facebook and Instagram, all the love from the extra Jehovah's Witness community. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart, because you guys have shown me nothing but unconditional love, as well as my friends out in the world. And I learned that family, like I said in my last video, family, it's not always blood related. You make your own family. And I want you guys to keep that in mind. You guys are being shunned. Keep in mind, you made the right decision. You did your research, you woke up from this cult, you did the right decision. You made the right decision by leaving, by departing from that organization. Keep in mind, in the long run, the people that are shunning you for that man-made organization, they're gonna suffer the consequences, because they're all gonna grow old and perish, knowing that they wasted their entire life slaving for a man-made organization. As for us ex-witnesses, we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we might be shunned now, but in the long run, guess what? We have our entire life. We have freedom for the rest of our lives. We get to be real. We get to be true. We get to be authentic. We get to have real friend, real love for the rest of our life. And knowing that, just knowing that, gives me peace of mind. It gives me peace of mind, knowing that I'm gonna die. Whenever I die, I'm gonna die being real and authentic as fuck. Excuse my French. Excuse my French. But guys, from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys. I love you guys. Like I said, strangers have become friends, and now they're my family, and my family have become strangers. This life is one hell of a journey, I'll tell you that. It's one hell of a journey. But yeah, I made peace. I made peace knowing that I'm not gonna speak to my family ever again. My mom, 2 brothers no longer love me, but guess what? I love me. I know I'm a great person. I'm gonna continue to be a great person. I'm gonna continue to be authentic. I'm gonna continue to make videos and speak against this religion until more and more people eventually do their research and wake up from this cult. I'm gonna continue to do my part. And I want you guys to continue to do your part as well. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.